Fellow YouTube followers, it is I, AJ Legend, here to give you the first ever edition of what I like to call First Impressions. First Impressions pretty much is I give you my first impressions of whatever new movie I've seen. Tonight, I'm going to give you my first impressions on Doctor Strange that I saw with my good friend over here, Mr. Bart Simpson.
How you doing?
Well, Bart, Doctor Strange. I waited 20 years to see this movie and it did not disappoint. I thought the movie was excellent. I'm a huge fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. I loved him in Star Trek Into Darkness. I think he was amazing in the show Sherlock Holmes. I think he's fantastic at Sherlock Holmes.
Definitely.
And Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange and Cumberbatch. The second he was announced to play Doctor Strange, it was in my head. I was like, you found the perfect actor. The man looks, and we watched the movie, straight off the page. He looks straight off the page. If you've seen the comic book of Doctor Strange and look at Cumberbatch in the movie, it's like identical. They did it's
it's very similar.
Oh yeah, the way he was able to use his hand gestures and now hand gesture movies is very, very hard to do because they come across as hokey. But the way Cumberbatch does it, it's like very stagey, like on Broadway,
theatrical.
Which is how you do it. I mean, make it too hokey.
Yeah.
And it looked naturalistic. He really, really, really did his homework on this.
Yeah. It looks that way. It looks like.
Of course, you had I can't pronounce the guy's name. He played I think it's Chadawal. If I'm pronouncing his name, I'm so sorry. His name is Chadawal. He played Mardo. He was also, he didn't have a whole lot, but I understood his character, especially near the end where he was where you got the sense that what I was meant to believe was one thing. Now this is happening. I don't know what to do anymore.
Right.
You can see the inner conflict in him too. It was great.
You could.
It was a really well acted movie. Off the bat, this movie just got me so excited. I waited 20 years to see this movie. Ever since I was 6 years old, I saw the Spider-Man animated series. Right. One of the first episodes I remember was Doctor Strange episode, where you get his origins. Now, all right, now to go back on course. Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange is a medical doctor who gets into a car accident, and in doing so, he loses the use of his hands. He's a brilliant neurosurgeon, but he loses the use of his hands. And being a doctor without the use of your hands, your job is completely pointless because you need to have steady hands.
Right.
Of course, this pretty much makes him a broken man, and he goes on this trip to
Nepal.
Yeah, Nepal. Because he meets this guy who I think
saves.
No. They said that he had an injury where his entire body was rendered useless.
Oh.
But when he went to Nepal, they didn't fix him, but they gave him the power of a sorcerer.
Right.
And he was able to, in his mind, to control his body to make himself one again.
Yeah.
This is what Strange does in order to fix his hands.
Right.
Now this is a non-spoiler review. What I'm telling you is not spoiler. It's part of the plot.
Right.
A spoiler is me telling you
something that gives away the movie.
Yeah, which is
is wrong.
Which is the end. Which is the ending, and
we don't want to do that.
What happens in the ending? But I'm going to say this: I think the ending was actually one of the better endings.
Yeah.
It was like when I was watching, I was like, "Oh, this is clever."
Yeah.
He's outsmarting this guy, and it's great. Now, Doctor Strange, this movie, he's arrogant, but he's likable too. It's hard to like him. He's so arrogant, but he's so brilliant at the same time. It's how can I hate this man?
Yeah.
Because he has funny one-liners too.
He does. Oh yeah, that's true.
That there's the ever-present, trying to make the character Wong.
Oh yes.
He was trying to make him laugh, and he couldn't make him laugh. Yeah. And at the end, he finally made him laugh. It was hysterical, and it was the most ridiculous thing that made the guy laugh.
Yeah.
This guy was throwing everything at him from you have a one name. What are you, Adele or Beyonce?
Yeah.
And there was something completely different that made the guy bust out laughing. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Doctor Strange is definitely officially becoming one of my favorite Marvel. Even though I just saw this is the first impression, it's quick, it's straight to say. I like it right below Civil War. I think Civil War, I love Winter Soldier, but I think Civil War was a tad better. But I think Doctor Strange is right in between Civil War and Winter Soldier. I think Doctor Strange is better than Winter Soldier. That's hard for me to say because I
Wow.
fucking loved Civil War. I thought Civil War was brilliant. I think Doctor Strange is just right above that because I love the whole, mysticism. Like the way he's able to bend time and space, and the visuals in the movie were fucking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Mind bending.
The special effects were awesome.
And they mixed up with CGI, and I saw a lot of practical effects too.
Yeah, that's true.
See, that's when
That's hard to
when
do.
CGI is awesome. If you can mix CGI with the practical, then the movie will look. It'll give you like a different movie. Like, oh wow, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with
Because
that.
there are a lot of scenes in this movie that when you're watching, it's like, oh my god, it's like
Yeah.
it's trippy.
Yeah.
Especially at the end when he's flying through space and time, and you see all the
Yeah.
all the neon colors. It looks.
And it's,
Whoa.
yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah. So like directing wise, by Scott Derrickson was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Good
Big
directing.
props to Scott Derrickson. He did a phenomenal job. He nailed it out of the park.
Mhm.
I am not familiar with his work. I have not seen any of his movies he directed.
Right.
After seeing this, I want to see them now
Yeah.
because the man's really good at doing visuals.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, I gave my thoughts. What about you?
I mean, you pretty much took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Doctor Strange. I didn't follow the comics. I didn't follow the TV shows. But I agree with the movie being very well done. It gave me, as a first-time fan, it gave me a sense of who the character was, a sense of, like it introduces the character to me, which I
like how they didn't throw so much at you.
Yeah,
Like they
which
like
for me, I mean, I'm pretty stupid with a lot of things, but
this is an origin
was like-
story. This
yeah.
movie is an origin story, but you don't even get the tip of the iceberg of what Strange can actually do,
right.
which is great because it leaves it open for more.
Oh yeah,
You don't even get to the tip of the iceberg. You don't even get to the iceberg.
No.
You get to like the lower level of the iceberg
Mhm.
because Doctor Strange
You
once
get to everybody. I guess you get to everybody boarding the Titanic.
see right now Doctor Strange and he's not the Sorcerer Supreme yet, but
No.
once he becomes Sorcerer Supreme, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
I mean that this man is like one of the most powerful characters in the Marvelverse.
Wow.
He's like
There's
here's the deal. If you put Superman against Doctor Strange, Superman ain't winning that fight.
wow.
You gotta remember, Superman is invulnerable to a lot of things, but he's vulnerable to magic.
Wow.
Magic, he's powerless against magic.
Wow.
And once Doctor Strange becomes Sorcerer Supreme, like of course we're not talking about the movie now. I'm just creaming on Doctor Strange because after seeing this movie, my love for Doctor Strange just got even higher.
Mhm.
Now I want to get as many comics of Doctor Strange that I can find now.
Yeah.
Because I'm in love with this movie. I want to see it again so bad.
Yeah. Which
Ah.
I'm sure we will.
Of course, you got the love interest played by Rachel McAdams.
Oh yeah.
You know
Girl
what?
From the Notebook.
I want to know what's funny. She wasn't your typical love interest. Like
No.
she played a doctor, but she's like they didn't hammer it in. So she's a love interest. It was
Yeah.
like, they played it really subtle with this one. They played it really cool.
That's true.
And they
That's
had
true.
they had like these cool little moments, especially the moment where like she goes in the apartment and she just sees Strange just completely broken.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Such a,
that's just-
it's one of those scenes in the movie where it's like, okay, now I want to hate you
yeah.
because now I want to hate you, but at the same time I don't want to hate you because I feel sorry for you because like
Yeah.
you are a brilliant surgeon and because of this accident you just a shell of yourself because you just can't accept the fact that it's over.
Right. Which, I mean, that's such a hard thing to do, but
But you gotta
the movie
remember.
nails it.
You gotta remember what they say. Like he's brilliant, but he's arrogant.
Yeah, he is.
His arrogance gets in his way, and you
Yeah.
see it throughout the course of the movie that his
Oh, yeah.
arrogance gets in his way.
Oh,
But you also see where he throws the arrogance away, looks at the bigger picture, and that's how he's able to come out on top at the end
Yeah,
because he's able to use his brain.
that's true.
And the whole theme of the movie, minor spoiler, the whole theme of the movie is that Strange has to learn to put others before himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right, that is a minor one.
It's modest.
As a comparison to other things.
I don't know if you can
tell
call it
about
a
the movie,
spoiler, cause I'm not, but it's like a theme.
the underlying message of the movie.
It's pretty much Strange has to look at the bigger picture and think of the greater good,
Yeah.
which is what the movie's about. It's about the greater good, especially when
Right.
you find out his teacher, the ancient one, no, she was doing some shady stuff, but she was doing it for the greater good, and you find
Yeah.
out when you watch the movie, you'll find out exactly what she was doing
Yeah.
and why it caused a rift in her little sect.
Right.
Now the villain of the movie, I can't pronounce the villain's name, but he's played by Mads Mikkelsen, who was Hannibal in the Hannibal show.
Oh,
He was
I can't pronounce his name.
performance-wise, he was good, but his villain thing was just, he was just there.
Yeah.
He was like a low-level henchman.
He should have played it more like Hannibal. But he should have played a little more like Hannibal. But all in all, he was pretty good.
But like acting-wise, he was fine. But in terms of character, he was like,
Yeah. It left a lot to be desired, I guess, character-wise.
Yeah, well, pretty much he's a guy that broke away, formed his own thing, wanted a greater power. Actually, wanted to serve a greater power who taught him other things, which is the reverse of what the ancient one was teaching.
Right.
The other side, the dark side.
Yeah.
I have a little Star Wars clip right there. I'm not. Of course, I'm not going to mention who the big dark side is, who the big bad of the Doctor Strange is, but all you fans will know who the big bad is. I'm not going to say though because this is This is a non-spoiler review.
Exactly.
And no, it's not who you think it is. It's someone else entirely.
Indeed.
To all you Thanos lovers out there. What else was there to say? I think we covered. I think I covered most of everything.
Yeah.
Well, without giving nothing away, because
you pretty much did. Yeah, I think that you pretty much covered everything. I think
the comedy. This movie, this movie is like it has its moments where it gets pretty dark.
But there are some funny moments.
But it has a lot of levity too. But it's but it's not. It's like some of it is like kind of like cheesy.
Strange's one-liners were hilarious.
Oh, he had the best, especially when he's talking to Wong.
Oh yeah.
The Wong stuff. The Wong stuff
funny.
Is like it cracks me. I was laughing.
It was like comedy gold.
Oh, it was great.
It was great. Yeah.
His interactions with certain situations was pretty good too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
The cape.
Oh yes, the
stuff with the cape was hilarious. Well, there was one thing with the cape where like it was like a real serious moment. Then like it's pretty lame.
Yeah. It was funny. But
I even said in theater that was lame. You saw? Remember? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I saw that.
At the hospital, he's like in the mirror.
Yeah, you went to the theater.
You got that big dramatic thing. Like, oh, really? Did you have to go there?
Yeah, of course.
Did you have to go there?
Of course.
Come on, Marvel. Come on.
Yeah.
I love your movies. I love Marvel. I love Marvel comics. Love the movies. Really? Come on.
Yeah.
Get serious, please.
A little more than that.
But like overall, Doctor Strange for me, it gets a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
First impression, 9 out of 10. When I see it again, the grade may go up. The grade may go down. I don't know. We'll see.
To be determined.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
Definitely a movie worth seeing. I would definitely recommend this to whoever loves a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this had everything that you were looking for. It had some good action. It had some funny lines. It had some good lines. The effects were awesome. The directing was awesome. Cast, I couldn't have picked a better cast if I tried.
And I like how it was a nice, small, contained cast.
Yeah. Not too many people to remember.
No add-ons. It was basic cast.
Not too many people to remember. Well developed.
Well, for the most part.
For the most part, well developed. Because it's
especially Mardo. Mardo had a nice subtle development throughout the course of the movie. If you really pay attention, you see his development because the movie focuses on Strange, but on the flip side, it focuses on Mardo. But it doesn't hammer Mardo's point, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
it plays it very subtly.
It does.
Of course, being a Marvel movie, this has 2 end credit scenes.
Oh yes, of course.
I'm not going to say what they are.
No,
but one pretty much. I'm not going to give it away.
No.
The first one is kind of like a sort of a comedy one.
Yeah.
And the second one is just a very, very dark one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this was the first edition of First Impressions. Like, comment this video, and please subscribe to the channel. Later.